So this week, I was out of town. I had to work in Dallas. And I do a lot of my work out of town because I have to travel, and as I mentioned one other time, I have to do some environmental and safety work at different places. And I can't always keep my good habits when I'm out of town. In other words, I'm drinking and I'm eating too much. Well, when I get home, I've got to face the reality of that. I've got to kind of take stock of myself, and the results aren't always pretty. And so this morning, I figured I'd be honest with myself and everybody else. I brought my scale.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I'm first. Maybe somebody else will go.
No, I don't think so. I don't think, we're gonna go.
It's a woman's birthright to shoot a set of scales on site.
Well, it's 145. It's a little high. And, but I've got to face the reality of that and take the actions and maybe not drink as much beer, but isn't it true that all of us would like to, wouldn't mind losing a few pounds now and then?
Yeah.
Okay. What if I were to tell you that there was a successful weight loss program that doesn't require you to buy special meals, doesn't require you to buy to exercise 15 hours a week. You don't have to give up on your favorite foods. You can even eat desserts and drink beer. There's no gastric bypass surgery involved. No caffeine-laden pills, and no purging involved either. That's all good. Well, many of us have bought into at least one of these weight loss solutions, or at least part of it, to fit into that special dress for somebody's wedding, perhaps. And sometimes those techniques even work a bit and make our bodies lighter, but probably just for a bit, right? Yeah, that's to be honest. So those times when I feel like I need to lighten up physically, I'm motivated because I start to feel sluggish. Those extra pounds take the spring out of my step. They make it a little more difficult to walk up my mountain. I notice myself choosing loose-fitting clothes that I intentionally or subconsciously did not donate to my favorite local charity because I thought, well, I might need it again. There's so many smiles here. It's real, isn't it? Yeah. And then I find myself spending more time on the couch with Bessie the Basset Hound, which we both like very, very much. But we both know that maybe we'd be better off taking long walks in the woods. But feeling heavy in my body is not nearly as bad as compared to feeling heavy in my soul, in my spirit. I don't know about you, but what that looks like to me is something like this. The power's gone out, the electricity's gone out during a storm, and I'm just struggling to keep a candle lit and see a little bit. I feel a little lost. I feel doubtful. I might be heavy with worry or concern or fear, not always for myself, but maybe for somebody I care about a lot. I kind of feel bogged down when I'm like this, maybe bogged down with judgment or resentment or even anger sometimes. And I feel like the world has heaved on some heavy stuff on me, or maybe I've just done it to myself, and that's usually the case. I feel a little stagnant. Tell me if you didn't feel like this too at these times. I don't feel quite as clean. I'm kind of confused, and I feel like maybe I'm missing out on something. Sometimes I feel even stupid, and I feel maybe at war a little bit, and I feel crowded, but at the same time, even though I feel crowded, I don't feel connected. Those aren't good feelings. I'd much rather feel light as a feather, yeah, and light on my feet, and treading lightly on the earth. That's what I want to be. And wouldn't it be interesting if people put in even a fraction of the amount of time that they spend in trying to lose weight here, and the effort and the money that it takes for that, having a lighter body, instead being light, taking some time and effort in being light in spirit, letting the soul, getting the weight off our souls. And that's really what this is about today. Every religion, just about every religion I've had any reading about, has a lot to say about the light of spirit. Light is an aspect of divine presence, and we kind of recognize it as that. You know, the Buddhist scriptures, and I've read some of that, those scriptures speak about numerous Buddhas of light. The Daily Word today talked about the radiating Christ presence within the light. The followers of a religion that was just before Christianity and was very popular at the time, Manichaeism, was the predecessor of Christianity in some ways. They believed that God was literally light. And an early follower of that religion was the young Saint Augustine. And he wrote, "I thought that you, Lord God and truth, were like a luminous body of immense size, and myself a bit of that body." In Hinduism, there's Diwali, the Festival of Lights. It's a celebration of the victory of light. And light is a core concept in Iranian mysticism. The Zoroastrian beliefs, they define the supreme god, Ahura Mazda. Mazda, sort of like my little Mazda there, but I think it's a little different, as the source of light. The term light has been used in spirituality, and it kind of depicts vision and enlightenment, and the Tabor light in Judaism. And Bible commentators, well, they see the presence of light as a metaphor of truth and good and evil, and the difference between knowledge and ignorance. And what all this says to me is that there's more to light than meets the eye, although as it's coming through, it's meeting the eyes of many of us. There is the light that for the most part goes unseen, although it may be more felt or intuitive. Light conveys both an absence of darkness and a quality that is going to help us see better and understand more clearly. And the light of wisdom, we talk about the light of wisdom, and the light of wisdom helps guide us through those troubled times and challenges. For instance, don't we often seek a wise person's counsel when we feel stuck in an issue, in a relationship or a work issue, for example? Light also communicates levity or joy. And the saying is, angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. A light heart is wise. And it doesn't hold any heavy emotion or thoughts of doom or despondency. And the person who is light in nature laughs a lot and takes life as it comes. They don't dwell in life's downturns with a heavy heart. They bounce back with resilience. And who comes to mind with that is the Dalai Lama. Some of you have seen him. I know I have. Some of you have read some of the things. And he calls himself a professional laugher. Literally, a professional laugher. And this is his words. I have been confronted with many difficulties throughout the course of my life, and my country is going through a very critical period, and it continues to. But I laugh often, and my laughter is contagious. In this case, in the case of this kind of being light is about acceptance and release and surrender, letting go, turning within, and making that shift that places one's vision in a different place. It's kind of reconnecting with the light, means getting our focus into realignment. And in so doing, we become more buoyant, lighter and relaxed, and we might almost feel like we're floating sometimes, don't we? You ever had that feeling? And our thoughts reflect light. Now, in a physical sense, like science, that we know that light is energy that's vibrating. And when things are resonating at a higher vibration, it generally means lighter. According to universal law and the science of metaphysics and quantum physics, everything in the universe is fundamentally made of pure energy. And that energy is just constantly moving, and it's oscillating, and it's vibrating at different speeds, sometimes fast and sometimes slow. And though we have flesh and bones, each one of us, we too are essentially just energy. And we're moving at a rapid pace that has an energy vibrational frequency. And some of you have been here when I've brought the crystal bowls and experienced that, and how your body resonates sometimes with different vibrations of those bowls. But perhaps some of you have never thought of your body as a frequency before, but it is, and it does, and it impacts every part of your life. You create your own reality, and like attracts like. That's one of the things that we have talked about here in Unity many times, the law of attraction. You magnetize or repel all experiences and the people and the circumstances in your life, even ones that appear to be coincidental or accidental in nature. And it's similar to radio waves. We've heard radio waves a long time. They're heard clearly, but they remain unseen. And your vibrational frequency, it emanates from your cumulative thoughts and your emotions and your consciousness. And it's continuously broadcasting, isn't it? Out into the universe and out into with the people around us. And this broadcast attracts similar experiences, people, opportunities, sometimes good or sometimes bad, and sometimes it depends on your perspective. A high oscillating vibration attracts more high frequency, spiritually uplifting. Some people will say positive experiences. And a low vibration is going to attract just the opposite. Have you heard people talk about attaining a higher vibration? Ever heard that before? Okay. As I said, we all vibrate energetically at a particular frequency. And that lower frequency, remember, means your energy is denser. And the heavier your problems seem when you're vibrating at that lower frequency. Here you may experience more pain and discomfort in your physical body, and emotionally it may have heavy emotions and sometimes mental confusion when you're vibrating at that lower frequency. And you need to really exert a great deal of effort to accomplish what you want to accomplish. At least it feels like that. The higher frequency, on the other hand, your energy or your vibration, you're going to feel in your physical body, in your emotional and your mental body, you're going to feel lighter. That's the way it works. And you experience more personal power and clarity and peace and love and joy. You have less discomfort or pain in your body, typically, if you're vibrating in that higher frequency. Your energy's literally full of light, and your life flows with synchronicity, and you manifest with your desires with ease. Everything takes on a different quality. I bet most of you have experienced that when you're thinking about it. Now, how do you determine what your frequency is? Well, it's simple. You pay close attention to how you feel. And when you hold positive thoughts in your heart and your mind, you generally feel more happy and inspired. And when you hold negative thoughts, sometimes you feel grouchy or sad or maybe a little more depressed. You feel better the higher your frequency is, and worse the lower. It's simple. You're the creator of your own life, though, so you can change that frequency. You have the power to change that frequency at any moment. It doesn't feel like it sometimes when we get bogged down, but you do have that. And even something as simple as laughter can change that frequency in a heartbeat. Really. I think the Dalai Lama is the epitome of that. He laughs a lot. And being creative can get those positive juices and getting that frequency vibrating higher too. When I'm feeling low, and I do often, it kind of brings me down, just the world I'm in sometimes, My creative outlet is music, and I'll pick up a cello or a violin or a mandolin and just start creating. I don't have to worry about reading music. I have the gift of being able to just create music on the moment, and that buoys me up. Even those low vibrations of the cello is that creative process and the physical movement that brings my vibration up. Alternatively, what you don't do can also create a dramatic impact in terms of your energy and that vibration. For example, abstaining from stimulants and depressants like caffeine, and refined sugar, things like that, and alcohol and drugs. I mean, I have a beer now and then, but it's try not to overdo it. Because even though it has a short-term euphoria, you always crash in the end, don't we? So, but keeping away from those things and trying to keep a real serious balance keeps you out of the doldrums, keeps your energy higher. And there's a few other ways to raise your vibration. And so, pay attention. I'm going to take a lesson out of my friend Dee's chart. Raising your vibration. Here's lesson number 1, chanting or meditation. Chanting helps us get above our concerns and issues and see things more objectively. The Buddhists do this. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. The monastic communities do it. Right? A lot of other religions and cultures do it. And the heaviness of problems gets lifted and solutions become clearer. You're doing it for a reason. Raising that vibration. Meditation, well, there's been a lot of writing about meditation in recent years, countless studies in the practice of meditation about how it permanently strengthens the most evolved portion of our brain, the frontal lobe. And that is linked to increasing the abstract thought and the cognitive reasoning and the positivity and the creativity. And they write how meditation triggers certain things in the brain to happen, releasing those naturally occurring neurotransmitters, and some of those drugs like dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin and the endorphins, and all these things are linked to happiness and simple pleasures. It makes a difference. So even if you can only meditate for 5 minutes a day, it makes a difference, and it gets your vibration up there. It can help you clear your mind and make you be lighter, literally. Okay, number 2. Unplugging from the Matrix. I'm not talking about the movie The Matrix. I'm not turning off the movie. What it means is, although computers and smart pads and iPads keep us connected and ready for connecting in the information age, they all have electronic devices. They're all part of this, and they emit certain invisible electromagnetic fields, and they also take your attention away. And they can negatively impact your own energy field. To limit your exposure is probably a good thing. I know we gotta get into a habit of always having it on. So if you can take a break and just get away from it every 2 hours, I mean, that's a help there. If you can turn it off at night so it's not emitting at night, it makes a difference in our vibration. So unplug and then go to sleep. Turn it off and go to sleep. Number 3, bathe. And we all bathe, or some of us even smudge. Do you know what smudging is? Mm-hmm. Okay, some of you do. It's a Native American process, and you have a smudge stick that's made out of, tell me? Sage, usually sage or sweetgrass. You take it and it burns lightly, and you let the smoke kind of clear things. But just bathing makes a difference. It cleanses away unseen energy patterns that you've picked up during the day or from other people that you've been around. And it makes room for positive energy and more creative thoughts. So even if in a pinch you just wash your face, it makes a difference in clearing up those energy patterns. Next, number 4, is spending time with positive people. It's been said that you become the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. You ever heard that before? So take a good look at your social circle and make sure that it is elevating, not suppressing your vibrational frequency. You can tell this because you pay attention after spending time with a particular friend or a group of friends. Do you feel uplifted and empowered and content? Or do you feel drained and angry and depressed? You have to be honest with this, because if you're honest and intentional, it might mean breaking tradition. That can be painful. But your spiritual health depends on it. Number 5, move your body. That's one of the things I wasn't doing enough of this week, moving my body. In addition to anti-aging and mood and metabolic benefits, which we all read about all the time, even small amounts of physical exercise are going to raise your vibration, bring in more light. And if possible, do it outside. Connect with the earth, and that makes the difference in helping you reconnect with your higher self. Number 6, this will be painful for some. Organize your environment. And what that means, our physical environment mirrors our emotional state. And just as cleanliness is next to godliness, a cluttered home is sure to be a cluttered mind. And if you can do nothing more than be organized enough to make your bed in the morning, it does make a difference in terms of your vibration for the day. It sounds silly, but it does. Those simple chores have a measurable impact, and it can be an instant boost of energy. This one we kind of like, serving others. As the saying goes, you get to keep what you give away. And being a light, we all want to be part of that light, means transforming our gifts into actions that matter. And reflect on your talents, reflect on your gifts. I do with my music and some other gifts that I have. And things that you love to do. It has to be what you love to do and what you feel gifted to do. Think about how that can change someone else's life, a child's life. Just simple actions like that take your focus off yourself and going to make you lighter. Oh, there's another one, not my favorite. Cleaning up my diet. Okay, cleaning up my diet. You are what you eat, and your vibration can be high and your body can be strong if you eat a diet that largely consists of fresh organic fruits and vegetables. And we hear this, and it is true. Doesn't mean you have to push away everything else, but it's a balance and trying to keep that in mind. It's doing the best we can. How I feel after I come home and I'm able to consume a meal of largely of what's come out of my own garden. It's live food. It's truly live food, and my vibration changes. I recognize that. Number 9, go on a news detox.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
I know people who are absolutely addicted to the news. CNN, even some of my friends who are addicted to Fox. They're still my friends. But do you ever feel depressed or anxious or fearful after watching or reading the news?
Yeah, normally.
A lot of spiritual traditions really recommend that seekers aspire to, who are aspiring to higher states, kind of keep away from the news. But at least try to limit yourself. And if you can do it for a few days, hey, that may make a difference that you actually feel. And then number 10, although it's not the only one, it's practice gratitude. Fact is, when you tap into the gratitude frequency, and gratitude has its own frequency, the effects can be profound, and it comes to elevating your own frequency. It actually lightens you. Elevate the frequency and lighten you. So gratitude. I've taught my own son you don't say any of the prayers at all, say thank you. It makes all the difference. You don't have to do anything else. So how do we experience light right now? And some of you may be experiencing light because you have sun shining in you. Well, now's the time we're going to do a little meditation. But I don't want you to quite close your eyes at this point. I want this to be half an open eye meditation. But don't focus on me. Focus on the light. Focus on the light. Pick a point of light out there, outside. We've got the best place in the world to do this. Take a moment and breathe deep. And then